This is the Megiu 23 quart portable car refrigerator. If you're thinking about picking one up, I just want to walk you through my experience. I've used regular coolers with ice for road trips, and I've also tried smaller electric coolers. The main difference here is that this one uses a compressor. It can work as a refrigerator or a freezer, depending on the temperature I set. I don't have to keep adding ice, and I don't end up with food sitting in melted water. The capacity is 23 quarts, or about 22 liters. That has been enough for drinks, a few containers of food, and some snacks for a short trip. I can also fit frozen meat and prepared meals if I use it as a freezer. The removable wire basket helps because I can lift everything out without reaching around inside. The size works well in my car. It can go in the trunk, behind a seat, or on a passenger seat if I secure it. It weighs around 19 to 20 pounds when empty, so I can carry it without much trouble. Once it is full of drinks, it gets noticeably heavier, but that is expected. The outside is plastic with a matte finish. It feels reasonably solid, though I still handle the latch with some care. I would not treat it like a heavy storage box or stack a lot of weight on top of it. The inside has smooth corners, which makes cleaning simple. If something spills, I can wipe it out without dealing with many narrow gaps. Setup was straightforward, but there is one important detail. After moving it around, especially if it has been placed on its side, I leave it standing upright for several hours before turning it on. That gives the compressor system time to settle. I also leave some open space around the vents. Blocking those vents can make it work harder and cool more slowly. It comes with power options for both the car and the house. I can run it from a 12-volt or 24-volt vehicle connection, and I can also plug it into a regular AC outlet. Before a drive, I usually run it inside the house for about 2 hours. Then I load food that is already cold. This reduces the amount of work it has to do when I connect it to the car. The controls are on top, with a digital temperature display and touch buttons. I can adjust the temperature 1 degree at a time. The operating range goes from about minus 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit up to 59 degrees Fahrenheit. That means I can keep drinks cool or use the whole compartment for frozen food. Cooling speed has been reasonable in my testing. With the compartment empty at room temperature, it reached around 32 degrees Fahrenheit in roughly 17 minutes. Getting close to the lowest setting took closer to 45 minutes. Actual times changed depending on the room temperature, how much food was inside, and how often I opened the lid. Once it reaches the set temperature, the compressor does not stay on constantly. It cycles as needed. The average power use is around 45 watts while running, and the ECO setting reduces how often it works after the temperature becomes stable. I have used it with a portable power station without a problem. How long it runs will depend on the battery capacity, the temperature setting, and the weather. One concern I had was draining the car battery. The refrigerator has 3 battery protection settings. I can choose low, medium, or high, and the unit shuts itself down if the vehicle voltage drops too far. I still avoid leaving it connected to a parked car for a long time. The protection is useful, but I would rather use a separate power station when the engine is off overnight. Noise was another concern. The compressor makes a low hum when it starts, but it is quieter than I expected. It is rated around 40 decibels, and that seems believable based on what I heard. I can notice it in a quiet room or inside a vehicle, but it has not been distracting. For sleeping in a tent or vehicle, placement will matter. I would keep it a short distance from where I am sleeping if possible. Compared with the thermoelectric coolers I have used, this holds a lower temperature and handles warm weather better. Those coolers often depend on the outside temperature and may only cool a certain amount below it. This unit behaves more like a small household refrigerator. The trade-off is that it costs more than a basic cooler and has a compressor that needs proper ventilation. There are a few limitations. This is a single-zone unit. I have to use the entire compartment as either a refrigerator or a freezer. I cannot keep drinks cool on one side while holding frozen food on the other. The capacity also works better for 1 or 2 people on a short trip. I would want something larger for a group or several days away from stores. I also noticed that the temperature shown on the display does not always match the temperature in the center of the food. Air temperature changes faster than a bottle or a frozen meal. I placed a separate thermometer inside when I wanted a more accurate reading. I also avoid packing items tightly against every wall because some airflow helps the temperature stay more consistent. Frost can build up when I use the lower settings for a while. It does not have automatic defrosting, so I turn it off, let the frost melt, and wipe the inside dry. I also check the exterior vents and clean away dust with a soft brush. These are small maintenance tasks, but they help it run normally. I think this size makes sense when I travel alone or with one other person. It works well for weekend drives, camping, truck use, or keeping groceries cold on the way home. I also see it being useful when I need temporary cold storage during a power outage, as long as I have a suitable power source. My experience has been mostly positive. It cools faster and reaches lower temperatures than the basic electric coolers I have tried. The controls are simple after I learn them, the noise is manageable, and the power options make it easy to use in different places. I just have to accept the single-zone layout and the limited space. I would consider it if I need actual refrigeration or freezing in a compact size and do not want to deal with ice. If I only need cold drinks for a few hours, a regular cooler would be cheaper and simpler. If I need separate chilled and frozen sections, I would look at a larger dual-zone model instead. If there is anything specific you want to know about temperature settings, power use, or what fits inside, leave a question in the comments. You can view detailed information about the Megiu 23 Quart portable car refrigerator in the comments section. Thank you for watching.